What up, everybody? It's me, Bitchy, here back with another episode of the Duro Bitchy Podcast. Okay, child, here back with a story time episode on today's episode. Each episode is going to be something different. We may have some story times. We may have some hot topics, popular topics, world news, celeb news, not celeb spotlight, but creative spotlight to put the spotlight on people that I know who are doing creative things and doing things out there that other people may want to jump on or purchase or get their services. But yeah, on today's episode, it's going to be a story time, and it's going to be about this weekend, y'all. And the first thing is breakdowns and breakthroughs, as you can see. And the reason why I went through that is because I had a breakdown and a breakthrough this weekend. And before I can go into the meat and the potatoes, I'm going to give you the appetizer, which was the way back. I'm going to take you all the way back to August of 2017. So August of 2017, I walked into this office building for an interview. And I remember hearing this voice and seeing this person who captured my eye and captured my attention. So from that moment, I was smitten. Hadn't even really known them yet, just had only seen and heard them. I'm like, I'm smitten. I'm very interested and very just smitten and curious about this person. So when I get there, I learn a little bit more about the person. I'm like, D, stick to yourself because I already know myself. Like, sometimes I just take things overboard and then they just become overboard and you're overboard at sea, bitch. You're lost at sea once you're overboard on a cruise ship. So, and that's what happened, bitch. I got too close to the railing on the cruise ship and went overboard, bitch, and I was lost at sea. So, I told myself to focus. I'm like, even if you just have this person as a friend, just be happy to have that because you usually don't even have that. So, that's what I tried to do, but unfortunately it didn't really happen. I think that once I started to get to know the person, that my admiration for them and my liking for them just continued to grow and grow and grow and grow. Kind of like James and the Giant Peach. Remember when he had the peach, bitch, it just got big. And then it was like, okay, it's big. Okay, cool. It's kind of weird. It's got bigger. And then it's like, okay, damn, this bitch is like humongous. It's bigger than a skyscraper at this point, bitch. So that's what happened. And I was okay with it. I'm like, I know that I can't really have this person, but I really like this person. To the point where basically it became love. To the point where I had love for the person. I would want to say that. And I just started to get into a very bad spot personally, mentally, just like being super mad at God. Like, why? I just was, and I don't even question God, child. Even going through depression, I never question God. I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. I'll live through it, experience it, whatever. But I just got to a very bad point where I was just questioning God, just like, why? Why can't I just have this one thing? And to me, like, this whole, like, I don't believe in the multiverse, but if there is a multiverse, I believe in the multiverse, the other Daryl and the other person are probably soulmates and probably are madly in love. Because I'm just like, why do I feel so much pain just, realizing reality? I've never had this happen to me. Like I said, I'm 33. I've liked people for 33 years, and I've been rejected. I've liked people who I can't, like or shouldn't like or can't have, and I get over it, bitch. I chew and swallow it like I chew and swallow a burger from Shake Shack, and it's just, it's there and gone the next day. But this has lingered for 5 years. I said August of 2017. It's 2022 now, so. From there, about 2 years ago, I think, we all got fired from the job that I walked into. And at that point I was just like, this person is not good for my mental health. It's not good for me because, anytime I encounter them, all I can think of is that, and I can't get over, and I stopped believing in God because I'm just like, there can't be a guy who's torturing somebody this much that just would love to just be in love and feels like, I might possibly die alone. I may never have the things that I dream of or want as far as love and like happiness with another man, a husband. So yeah, it got really bad. So about 2 years ago, I'm like, this person isn't good for me anymore. So I'm just going to steer clear of them. I'm not going to, initiate any contact. We already don't really. When we got fired, I kind of realized that we were mostly co-workers and more than friends, because I still keep up with my friends who I, was working with from that job. And everybody else who was just co-workers, we mostly we'll give each other a little like here and there or something like that, or a little tap on the IG. But, friends and co-workers are, two different things. So I'm like, okay, this person isn't good for me. I'm not gonna initiate any communication. I'm not gonna follow them. I'm not gonna think about them, just so that out of sight, out of mind for me is so much easier than being forced to see something that I don't want to see, because it's gonna trigger something bad in me. So 2 years go by, child. No contact, no nothing from nobody, either side to either or. And then maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, random FaceTime call and text message. So I'm like, my anxiety shot up a little bit. Then I'm like, oh shit, what does he want? Why is he calling me? It doesn't call me, doesn't talk to me. What does he want? So I answered, and it had to happen to be about my script that I was writing. I think I had made a post somewhere about it, and he must have seen it, so reached out about that. And so I sent it to him, child. And for some odd reason, just because he thought it was cool, that jump kicked me. I hadn't worked on it in 2 years since we had gotten fired. But for some reason, just because he liked it, I jumped on it and bitch finished the first season in a week, bitch. And I'm just like, why did it take him saying something for you to do that when you sat up here and looked at the script for so long and didn't do shit with it? So I was disappointed in myself about that. So I'm like, nope, don't even get back into that thought process, bitch. Nope. Okay, we shared the script, shared a couple thoughts, and that's it. Bye, boom. So months go by again, no more contact. We ain't no contact shit. We didn't do it. So this weekend I go to one of my friends' party, and I'm just, chilling, having fun, just sitting over there high. I done had about 10 of my little edible bites, because 10 of them is about the size of a nerve rope. So 10 of my edible bites got me to where I wanted to be. And I'm sitting there with my feet in the pool, just looking in Calabasas and Tarzana, the valley and stuff. And all of a sudden, I don't even know why I look back, but I look back and boom, there he goes. I ain't seen him since 2 years ago, which I thought was going to be the final time I ever saw him in life, because I had moved to Vegas shortly after. But damn, child, when I tell you the anxiety attack hit me like a ton of bricks, it was like a ton of bricks had literally fallen off the mansion top and fallen on top of me. I instantly started just fidgeting with my hands, just kind of like sweaty palms. Heart rates got so fucking fast. I had to start like kind of breathing and just closing my eyes and just kind of like working through it. Because usually in that moment, bitch, I would have just got up and like, let me go. Let me get the fuck out of here, because I'm about to have a fucking panic attack. I'm about to, I wasn't ready for that. So child, I do that. I have the fucking panic attack just sitting there. I'm like, let me just sit here incognito. Nobody gonna see me, child. Came over, said, hey, whatever, we spoke. I just kept it real short, moved on. Then, them and their significant other came over and sat by me, had a couple little words real quick, and then I had to get up. I'm like, let me get up, bitch, because I'm losing it. I kept it cool. Nobody at the party would have known this other than me, because I kept it cool. Even though I was losing it, I kept it cool. So I went over by the little window, sat down, had me some drinks in my little cooler that I had, child. And I'm like, okay, I skipped that moment. Cool, whatever, that. So, I think what's the name had went over there and sat by what's the name to talk about his show, and then he had came over there by me like, oh yeah, I was in Vegas. I had a layover in Vegas, like 12 hours. And just sat there. I'm like, that pissed me off even more, because I'm just like, wow, I live in Vegas. You could easily hit me up, and maybe if you needed a ride somewhere or do something, bitch, we could have sat at the strip and just chatted up or something like that. So I'm like, yeah, co-workers not friends. So that pissed me off even more. So I'm like, child, let me get up. And thankfully he had went and gave his girlfriend a drink, child. So I'm like, let me get up. So I went back and sat by the pool again. And thank God, child, Mama Barnes was like, Daryl, come over here and sit by us. I'm like, yeah, let me come over here and sit by y'all. And that's why the other part of this video says, thank you, Mama Barnes, because at that moment in time, I didn't know what I was going to do next, bitch. I didn't know. There was nowhere to hide. I was like, I'm not finna go into this mansion and sit in the mansion by myself and just look stupid and look odd. I'm already probably look odd as fuck, fidgeting and having the shakes, bitch, So child, Mama Barnes called me over there, thank God. And we just started chatting. We just started talking about how I made it out there to LA, what my parents thought about me moving to LA, and just took my mind off of the situation. So thank God she did that, because I was able to calm down all of the kind of like symptoms of my panic attack at least started to fade away because I was kind of just breathing and not thinking about it. So I sat there and just talked to Mama Barnes. I mentioned her, I'm like, child, I'm fighting off a panic attack. I'm just like, I'm so thankful that you called me over here because I was going through it. And she was just like, yeah, like, she just, I didn't tell her the whole story that I'm just telling y'all, but I just said I'm fighting off a panic attack. And she was like, don't, just experience it, go through it. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I've been telling myself, just going through it, experience it. Like, usually I would have had gone ahead and been left by now, but I'm like, nope, just go ahead and experience it, go through it. It'll be over soon. It's nothing that's going to last forever. So I said that we sat there and talked for about 35, maybe even 40 minutes. It was a minute. We talked for a long time, just chatting. She brought my mood back down to earth, and I'm so happy for that. So I think maybe I might have cried one time in the theater, child, watching the game real quick, and I'm like, no, bitch, get up, stop isolating yourself in this theater, go out there and just stand out there, child, and just stand out there. So I went out there and just stood out there finishing my drink and just enjoying the conversation with everybody. And then we ended up going out to eat. And then, so we get back from going out to eat, I give Barnesy and Ricky a hug. And literally, as soon as I turned left out the gate of the estates, of the Tarzana estates, I start bawling, crying. I mean, and I've never cried that. When I cry, like the tears will fall, and I may like have my little breathing, but I've never just screamed and shouted the way I was screaming and shouting. I had to pull over on his heel and just sit there for like 15 or 20 minutes and just until I was done. And so, child, I finally got home, and this is where the breakthrough came from, because after I cried and just bawled my eyes out like that, I was just like, bitch, why are you I'm just like questioning myself of why am I crying, and why am I still going through this after 5 years, and thinking of, just going through this, putting myself through this. This is nobody else's fault. I don't blame nobody, just, disclaimer, it's all my own fault. Mental, it's all in the mental. The mind is a hard battle to fight against, bitch. And from there, I'm just like, you need to get it together, bitch. And I just started going off on myself, making lists of things that I need to start doing to make myself happy, as far as like losing weight. If I lose weight, at least maybe people who are gay will find me more attractive, because the reason why they don't right now, most of them, I have maybe like a little 10%, 15, 20% of people who may think I'm cute at this size or looking the way I look, but the other 80% is locked by people who want people who are smaller. So that's the first thing that I need to do for myself, even though I'm doing it because I want to be noticed, but it's something that I need to do. So doing that, I need to start. The next time I am in a situation like that, I won't let myself get into a panic. I will be ready for it. I will not even fucking care. Because, I don't know. Like I said, when I cried like that, I felt like it was my heart finally just breaking so that it could be rebuilt. Like my heart broke. It was shattered in pieces because in my head I want what I want, and it's nothing that can make me want anything else until I find something else. So that was the breakthrough. I feel a lot better. Like I said, thank you, Mama Barnes, because you brought me down in that moment. You at least brought me down in that moment and put the anxiety on pause until I got in the car later on and cried in the car like Ezel when Debo snatched his chain. But yeah, that was that, y'all. I'm good now. I still feel kind of sad about it. I definitely cried like a couple times on the way home. Bitch, that 4 hour drive, listening to some music and just thinking about the whole weekend. But the part of the weekend that did make me happy and just made me so joyous before that little, attack came on was the Saturday of meeting Barnesy's parents, mom and dad, who are amazing people. So happy I finally got to meet them. And then just being there at Fixins with the family, child, just family only. And finally hitting that epiphany that I need to be back in LA. So yes, I'm taking my talents back to LA. If you have any 1-bedroom apartment hookups in Pasadena, Glendale, Burbank-ish, Encino-ish areas, hit me up. Let me know about them, because I want to move back. I want to be there for my friends. Only my friends, because I only talk to 3 or 4 or 5 people in LA. So, and 3 or 4 of them are the ones who I really want to be around. Grammy family, OGs, people like that. Everybody else is just additions. I'm hoping that I can meet more of their good friends, and just kind of, meet people that way. I don't really want to have a lot of people from the past that I haven't talked to, that don't give a shit about me, that don't give a fuck about my well-being or anything else like that. So, yeah, if you hear anything about those apartments, hit a bitch up. I'll be back in LA. If you're going through, just know that it's not the end, bitch. Talk yourself through it. If you ever feel like you're going through panic or just depression or anything, anxiety, bitch, talk yourself through it, because I promise you, if you focus on what the issue is, you're going to go crazy. But if you just talk yourself through it, tell yourself, you're reacting this way because why, and just talk yourself through it. It's harder, it's easier said than done, but it's possible. Until next time, we'll follow up this episode with like a cooking with bitchy episode. I need to cook something. We'll get happier on the next episode, but I wanted to get that out because it was a doozy. It was a doozy. Okay, bitch. But anyway, until next time, deuces.